Testing one, two. I'm trying to see. I'm live yet? Okay, I am live. Okay, this is kind of like a test run right now, to see who all's gonna watch. I have a very important video to show to you. It's 3 minutes long. Um, Unfortunately, I'm gonna try to get to these comments. If there's any comments, you're welcome to comment. Especially if you're targeted. Um, okay, let's see. Get to where I can see the comments and turn this volume down. Okay, we got two people watching. Okay, so I'm gonna share something before I share this important video with y'all. Uh, but this is important, my opinion, because as targets, we're watched and tracked, and this is a video of an example of the technology they use in the airplanes when they fly over. It's an advertisement from a company, and I'm gonna wait till more people get in here. But yeah, it's an advertisement. Um, Give me 1 second. From a company that and I'm gonna read the description to the company right now. So Harris Corporation, a leading technology innovator, solving customers' toughest mission critical challenge problems by providing solutions that connect, inform, and protect. Supports government commercial customers in more than 100 countries and has approximately 6 billion in annual revenue. So I'm not saying the company's involved in targeting or anything like that. I'm just saying the technology they're selling and they're advertising is definitely and then let me just show you the video and then I'll just replay it if I have to. Okay, let me get back to my comments. Okay. Yeah, I deal Vibe Star. I deal with V2K since 2015. My first incident was I tried to check into 6 different motels and they all started checking me in. Then they got a call and turned me down. Well, I walk out the motel and I hear my handler's voice saying, "Look at him. He can't even get a hotel. You don't know what to do." And her friend, it's like her and her friend are having a conversation. So I look in all the cars in Hampton Inn parking lot and everything. It's the first time I'm hearing V2K. And it's voice to skull, by the way. If you don't know what it is, it's called voice to skull technology. So since telephone companies have come out, they've had every conversation recorded and they voice clone. They can mimic anybody's voice. And so anyway, I looked everywhere, I could never find it. I've been dealing with that for years. Uh, Hey James, hi Irene. Watch this. I'm sharing a video with y'all. This is very important. I'm only going to be on here for about 30 minutes. I just want to come on and show this and say hi to everybody because I've been very busy with responsibilities here. Um, but I'm uh, along with trying to help others, which involves spending a lot of time on the phone. Um, you know, if you, I find when I have to schedule calls now because I'm fixing to share the screen because when talking to targets, it can last an hour at least. And then you got to try to schedule time to take care of stuff around the house and all that stuff, and then try to research videos. And I'm not gonna put anything out there without researching it first and making sure it's good info. All right, now y'all watch this and pay attention to the captions. Due to copyright on the music, I can't play the music, but I can play the video with the sound off. I don't know if it'll still count as music in the video or not. I don't think it will with the sound off. Hold on, let me Google that. I hope y'all but yeah, the way I deal with V2K is multitasking, control breathing, hand pan music. There's several ways you can deal with V2K, but there's no way to shut it off. I've never shielded. I've been 6 feet under in the swimming pool. I've been about 20 miles in the Chaffali Wildlife Basin lost with no generator. I mean, not they had generators, no power lines, no cell phone towers, and still heard it. Now I didn't get hit with direct energy weapons in the woods, but watch this video. Hold on, let me see if I can play it with the. I want to make sure I can do this because my channel is highly censored. I got demonetized. And oh yeah, I appreciate still standing. I appreciate your comment on my last video. I'm glad. I'm glad that everything worked out for you. I really appreciate that comment. I really needed to hear that. I was especially what's been going on the last couple of days. Let me see something. Can play? I'm just trying to make sure I can do this because this is very important. Okay, I think I'm pretty sure I can do this then. Okay. All right, so all right, I'm sharing my screen, so here you go. Read read what it says and what it does. This is airborne imagery. Watch what it does. I ain't got to say no more, but okay, cross Q and seamless to integrate with other intelligence sources. I will read it to y'all. Signet, hyperspectral, full motion video and ground sensors. Here, let me enlarge. All right. Are y'all reading this? This is insane. Signet identifies the signal. WAMI helps locate it. Full motion video only tracks in small areas. WAMI records big picture view. Human provides intent. WAMI monitors activities. Automated tracking and advanced analytics for continuous situation awareness. This ain't all, it's getting interesting. Advanced analytical features such as watch boxes and tripwires, geofencing, tripwires, real-time tracking, event detection, and alerts. This is for planes and helicopters. Analysts can create new areas or reassign existing monitored areas in seconds. Pattern of life analysis from activity to data captured and stored on board. Dual mode, day, night sensor. Detects, tracks, and I can't. Scoring activity with. Anyway, I missed that. I got a screen on my screen. Y'all can't see. It's blocking some of the words. Real time high definition monitoring for up to 10 areas of interest. One system operator can manage 10 areas of interest. Increased information reliability with real time streaming. So one plane can up to 10 data can be viewed and streamed. This ain't all. Listen, to multiple users. Analytics can view live or playback as the situation unfolds. Advanced analytical capabilities for high value target detection and tracking. So it can hone in on somebody in wide area motion imaging, delivering more than just data. Delivering more than just data now. Technology to connect, inform, and protect. Well, you know as well as I do, if they're using this in law enforcement and then they'll sell this technology. Anybody can get this technology. This is an advertisement. You come up with the right money, you can buy that technology. You don't think that technology is being used? And I'll play it again. Yes, Isaac, they do get paid paid to do this. So anyway, they come up with this technology. This is 7 year old technology, y'all. Anybody got any comments? 7 year old technology. So imagine where we're at today. These are flyover planes, and this is technology you can put in any plane that can track any kind of target. Now, I'm sure this advertisement is probably for police forces and stuff like that. But if this technology can be used to track criminals, then it can be used to track people who are targeted individuals, um, and monitor them real time. Not that they needed this to track anybody. I'm sure they didn't even need this technology to track. This is 7 year old technology. I'm just showing you because people don't know how advanced technology is, and even new TIs don't realize how advanced technology is. They need to see stuff like this. This is 7 years old. 7 years old, this technology is. Loki, watch the video and read what it's saying across the screen. Automated tracking, advanced analytics for continuous situation awareness. This is what they're selling people for planes and helicopters going overhead. Jennifer, I'm aware of that, but I'm just showing people, and especially people who aren't aware of the TI program and don't realize how advanced tracking is, that if they had this technology 7 years ago, which they had better technology even before that. I was tracked in 2018. I jumped a train from Atlanta to Shreveport through my phone while I jumped a train from Atlanta to Shreveport, and they were on me everywhere I went. I was in 12 states in 6 months in 2018. Everywhere I went, I was tracked. So, and I didn't, and I went 30 days without a phone and was still tracked. So I know the technology is more advanced. I'm just showing non-believers how advanced this technology is and what they've been doing to us for years. So I find it interesting whether anybody else does or not. Jay says, if you read this comment has something to do with this on us, well, this has been going on long before any terrorist watch list. I talk to targets. I'm in contact with a couple of targets that's been targeted since the early 90s. This stuff's been going on a long time. It's just COINTELPRO and MK Ultra graduated into a more advanced stage. Uh, hey, Loki. Hi, Irene. Thank you. They definitely they ain't doing this stuff for free. And I try to value some of my experiences as a target individual because they've, especially certain stuff I've survived because it's made me more grateful for little things. It's made me appreciate smaller things that I used to take for granted. So I try to turn what they do to me negatively and use that to try to put forth positive stuff and help others and more and just try to deal with it, and it's hard because we get hit. I get V2K 24/7 in my head, saying degrading stuff, especially when I'm using the bathroom, taking a shower. There's no privacy. There haven't been privacy for me since 2012, but there's really been privacy for nobody because uh, you know there just hasn't. And Jennifer says, I don't think this is the watch list, just my opinion. Oh, I think it's deeper than the watch list. I think that's only a part of it. And that's why when that Project Quiet Skies or something, they supposedly done away with that. Well, I didn't hear of no targets coming out saying, oh, my targeting stopped or anything like that. So I'm just showing people the technology, and then I might play one more video, and then I'm getting off here. I was just coming to say hi and stuff. I've been very busy lately, and um, I haven't really been able to come on here and conversate much because I have so many responsibilities, and then we got cats to take care of, inside and out, and stuff. There's other stuff involved I'm not going to mention that I do around here. I try not to tell my business on the internet, if you know what I mean. Uh, and especially, I'll talk about the torture and stuff, but the street theater in certain situations they play out, sometimes I'll talk about it. Sometimes I won't, because what I've found over the years is we have cameras on the house. So if I talk about a certain incident that happens that bothers me, like them pulling in my driveway or doing something, or pulling outside the house and doing something, if I was to get on YouTube, every time I get on there and talk about it, they'll do it 6 or 7 more times because they're knowing it set my PTSD off and mess with me. So it's kind of like a bully. In certain situations, I'll talk about weapons attacks and I'll talk about V2K, but in certain situations with stalking and tactics like that, I try not to reveal what's going on and what bothers me. Don't think it ain't going on. It's going on, but it's like a bully. If a bully knows what bothers you, they're going to keep doing it. But if a bully picks on you and you act like it don't bother you, well, there's different types of bullying. But what I'm saying, like aggravating you with words and saying that, and they just see it don't bother you, they don't do it as much. And then another thing I've noticed too is, being that I don't leave the house much, um, if I sit and look at my cameras all day, I will notice all kinds of stuff. And so I try to uh, I monitor the cameras. Don't get me wrong, but I try not to focus on them all day long, 24/7. I mean, I focus on them and I got them set to go off and stuff. But y'all know what I'm saying. Over my house, you'll see 10 to 15, like up high and low, but a distance. There's nothing in any direction. Um, and I'm gonna stop this video, and I'm gonna try to play another one if I can. Let's see. There's one more video I wanted to play for y'all. So, uh, wow.
Setting for duping the public into this long-standing myth, setting the stage for countless atrocities committed against. This is a good example of the power of the propaganda disinformation machine. Alien autopsies and spaceship crashes. Area 51 was the classic setting for duping the public into this long-standing myth, setting the stage for countless atrocities committed against citizens. Initially, isolated rednecks were the target of human experimentation because they were easily discredited. Their boldness has stepped up in the last decade, conducting alien abductions to a politician, FBI agents, military personnel, professors, a New York City cop, etc. They have been successfully at discrediting these people in the media. The BBC wrote that over 25 million Americans believe they had alien contact. I haven't done my own survey to validate this rather large number, but it matches with the capability of the EEG heterodyning system in place since the mid-70s. UFOs.
Did you hear what he said? The EEG heterodyning system in place since the 1970s.
There are two types of military exercises that people report as UFO sightings: experimental aircraft designs being tested and directed energy weapons. With EMP weapons, electromagnetic pulse, you can stall a car. People involved in UFO sightings with black helicopters flying by often reported that their cars stalled and their radio started changing stations. Directed energy weapons alter the radio frequency modulations.
Now I'm gonna pause that. That happened to me a lot of times over the years. It happens to Holly too. The radio station will just change all of a sudden. Well, when you're being hit with radio frequency and all that stuff, of course it's gonna change.
And would have this effect. A phenomenon known to scientists that work with high energy physics is air sparking or atmospheric excitation. When the energy density becomes great enough, the nitrogen and other molecules will begin to glow. So an uneducated observer will see a bright bluish ball in the sky, zipping around at improbable velocities. Chemtrails. I am not an expert on chemtrails, so I can't.
Okay, I'm gonna read this because his voice sucks. I'm not an expert on chemtrails, so I can't speak to all their purposes. Spraying barium aluminum particles in the air will act as a radar shield in our experiments in cloaking technology, since countries have figured out how to track the stealth bomber by using background cell phone radiation satellites. Chem sprays can also be used to test biological weapons, like was done over San Francisco in the 1970s. The reason Olson was killed by CIA. Other operations have included using chemical tracers, lightly dusting an area that can be fluorescent in fluorescide in some invisible wavelength. Long-term health risks are unknown. Um,
Speak to all their purposes. Spraying barium or aluminum particles in the air will act as a.
I have no evidence from military documents released through Freedom of Information Act to support my inference about the mystery surrounding it. Oh, that's about the Bermuda Triangle. And if you read if you read about the Bermuda Triangle, from my research, it you know, it was if you go down to the bottom of the water, from my research, there's three pyramids on the bottom of the water. I don't know if that's accurate. That's just from my research, and they create this energy field, and it's been there for years or whatever. But I don't want to get into the Bermuda Triangle. I'm on people getting tortured and stalked and harassed. I'm trying to see if he's gonna if he goes down to psychic warfare, and he might not. And I apologize for being unprepared like this. Like I didn't. I was just going on here really as a test today, just to see how things went, see if anybody would come and participate, because I didn't really know if anybody would or not. Um, I'm sorry all y'all are going through this. I've been going through it since 2012. We as humans being traumatized daily. 100. I've talked in my car while driving. The UAP followed me. UAP responds by moving up and down. Yeah, Jay. While driving. Oh yeah, they're doing all kinds of stuff now. Now here's the question. Um, about Project Bluebeam. See, and then you got um digital ID coming out and all that, and they're not showing you on the media, but actually in Italy, all these people have got together and shut down stuff over digital ID. I seen a video earlier, and I wish I could find it right offhand, and because I would send it to this phone and play it for y'all. Let's see if I can find it. I probably won't be able to find it. I can play oh, there's no way. I don't log into Facebook on the computer, so okay.
Been shut down. For those that don't know, because a lot of these mainstream outlets, news outlets, don't like to report what's actually going on. But Italy's been shut down completely. Everybody in Italy is had enough of their government taking the piss, so they've all decided to stop working, stop paying taxes, and they've been doing it for
Oh, shut off.
the past week now. They've shut it down for the past week.
Italy.
And
The whole country stopped working, stopped paying taxes, and everything shut down the whole last week. And this dude said it's not being reported.
This is the thing. Nepal's done it. Italy's clearly done it. Like the UK needs to follow suit. If you don't do it when they try to enforce these digital IDs, or for the next lockdown, for the next lot of fucking COVID and that.
I'm gonna cut that off anyway. So he's saying that Italy has totally stopped working, stopped doing anything, and they're demanding answers. Now, question you got to ask yourself: different countries have different stuff. Would that work in this country, or would they just take you off the street somewhere? I just don't know. I think the drones in the sky are wandering stars mentioned in the Bible. I really, the more I read the book of Enoch, the more I put two and two together. It's clear that the fallen angels came down, showed man how to make fire, how to make technology, weapons of war, and everything. So I do believe there's a spiritual aspect to this technology, and somebody's giving these people this information on how to do this stuff. So if you talk biblical, uh, yeah, definitely. I think there's something involved spiritual, and that's why they want to drain your energy. They want you vibrating on a negative, bitter, hateful. I was there. I was there. I've been there. So I'm not telling you nothing I ain't been through. I was bitter. I thought the whole world was against me and I didn't care. I was mad at the world. And I'm glad uh I'm glad I got humbled. That's all I got to say about that. I'm glad I got humbled. I'm glad that um the Most High gave me a chance to see that walking in bitterness is not the answer. And they're just hijacking your energy when you're walking on bitterness, reacting negative, complaining about everything. Instead of trying to positive affirmations, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. I can do all things to Christ. And I'm not trying to, that's just what I do. I read Psalms out loud daily, 2 or 3 times a day. And that's no lie. I'm not just telling you that. I read Psalms out loud. I'll pick a different Psalms every day, about 3 times a day, and say it out loud. Sometimes when I'm watching TV, I'll stop the TV, pause the TV when we're watching TV, and start reading Psalms out loud. Psalms are powerful, and they move stuff in the spiritual world that people don't even see. Um, okay, let's see. Shriver Air Force Base is on Enoch Street. Wow, I didn't know that. You think they have us hooked up to the Palantir program? I think everybody's hooked up to the Palantir program. We're just you think they have a Sam saying, oh, okay. So this has got to be some kind of perp, Sam, huh? Okay. And if you're not a perp, then it's a coincidence because uh, my pet's name's Sam, so that's interesting that your name is Sam. Really interesting. Okay. And I apologize if I got it wrong and Sam is just some random name you chose. So I apologize greatly because I do get it wrong and that does happen. So, uh, but yeah, what I'm saying is, you can't sit around and wait on lawsuits. I'm not saying don't pursue the courts, don't do that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying don't do that and just sit around and do nothing. Find ways to be proactive. Heavy metal detox, Faraday hat, blue light glasses, exercise, water with salt in it, a little bit of salt. If you know, uh, you can drink water all day, but if you don't have electrolytes, that water, it does a little good, but it don't do as much good as you might think. Um, I'm sorry, Sam. Then I apologize. I got out. I just got in my feelings because I was seeing Sam. I'm not perfect, and I hope you accept my apology. Sam is my cat's name, though. One of them. Uh, hey, Linda. I believe you, Sam. Like I said, I just had to regroup. You know how it is. Sets out. Consider everything's a coincidence because it doesn't matter much anyway. Yeah, you're right. And I want to read something real quick before I end this live. I hope y'all found it interesting. I just thought I'd come on here because we didn't go live last week because it was just very, very hectic. They create situations for me and I'm not going to say the situation because then they'll send more situations. They create situations for me that take all day to figure out, and people who are close to me that are watching this know what I'm talking about. And I'll be spending all day trying to get out of this one situation that I spent over 60 hours on this year. Well, about at least 50, I know for sure. And I don't want to say it because I know they're going to create the situation again. So, um, when we're in a deep, but it's a responsibility situation, and let's just say it's a time waster, and it gets me nowhere every time it's it's got to do with taking care of something over the telephone. That's all I got to say. Um, When we are in a deeply threatened situation, we can roll the burden of our heart into the Most High. Fabricated devices can send silent sound frequencies that not only convey suggestions but can transmit cloned emotions. These are silent and efficient methods of controlling the human brain. Our spirit is the last link in the chain keeping us anchored. Thoughts of suicide are never ours to embrace because they are of the devil and by the devil. It's a cheap shot to win souls designed out of sheer desperation. Gang stalkers will put these sound systems around our home with intentions of robbing our life energy. These perps are often envious of us. They are too weak or undeveloped to create their own life energy, so they sap ours. Lots of target individuals refer to them as sappers or psychic fleas. Whenever we start to think of gruesome or unpleasant thoughts, we must put on our helmet of salvation to protect our mind from these psychological attacks and keep our thoughts on things above instead of our own earthly situation. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. So try to find ways to be proactive. Try to find ways to constantly better yourself or better your situation or better your mindset. If you can't, even if you feel like, because I was stuck in that, I'll never get help. Nobody will ever help me. It's impossible. Everything's rigged. And I found out by not giving up that that wasn't the case, and it was all a mirage that kept me from trying anything because I thought nothing could work out good. Well, people that know me from 2018 know that's not the case, and that stuff does work out good. Um, so it's just really, really, water is super important. Also, watch the amount of food you eat. Yes, don't overeat and try to exercise. Keep sugar out of your diet. Cincinnati is great. I grew up in Norwood, Xavier said. But anyway, I'm just trying to say, like, don't never think negative of yourself. Um, don't never I believe if you're silent about your pain, they'll kill you and say they enjoyed it. Or you enjoyed it. My bad. Trying to find this. I read this earlier. I've learned to be friends with the broken. They know how to survive and have a depth of great love and understanding. I've learned that loneliness has nothing to do with how many people are around you, but how many of them understand you. I've learned that the smallest word can break your heart or repair it, that we're all good at something, whether it's making someone laugh or remembering their birthday. Don't ever let anyone tell you that these things don't matter. And I really try to enforce that in people I talk to is like, don't live in this defeated attitude. Always have hope because you never know one day when your blessing might come. Um, I thought I was alone since the 70s. I see I'm not now, and that makes me sadder. A lot of the do's and voices, imagery and mood manipulating, messing me up bad. You realize it's every point, every aspect of your life. Yes, it is every point, every aspect of your life. I can't stand it anymore. And same here. Well, I I encourage you not to give up. I encourage you, they want you to give up. They're banking on you giving up. Um, and something I said earlier when reading that thing, thoughts of suicide are never ours to embrace. I can't, I just realized what I read here. I don't know what happens when you commit suicide. I'm not the judge. You know, I had a very close person to me, well, a couple close people to me, have done that over the years, and I often ask myself, what happens? I don't know. The Bible says murder is a sin. Um, but does God consider your mindset and all that? But I'm not encouraging anyone to do it because I think it's you know, I I don't think that's the right way to go out. Why let them throw a party over you? Why let them have the power to say, "Hey, we were successful"? Why do that? I mean, when you I mean, why do that? But what thing will really help a TI out is if they start and I'm gone after this. If they What helped me is helping others. So if you start reaching out, just making another TI's day, finding a TI on social media who's posting stuff and not having a good day and about to end it, and you reach out to that TI and you talk to them and give them hope. It not only helps that person, it helps you because you're finding worth in yourself by helping them. So helping others is probably the best thing you can start out doing, and then learning to love yourself because this program will make you question yourself and everybody's looking down on you. And then, I was homeless 4 years. as a target. I walked around with everybody looking. Can you imagine that? That was humbling as hell. Everybody's looking at me, no telling what they've been told about me, lies or whatever, and I'm just getting stared at like I'm the uh, uh, outcast of the whole world, walking around lonely every day, dodging gang stalkers, being turned down by homeless shelters. I know what it's about. Um, so so yeah, and then trauma will hijack you to where, and I shared this in one of my short videos. Trauma will hijack you to where anything good that comes your way, um, you're scared of it because you're used to so much bad happening. You think anything good's a setup, but then you have to be careful because sometimes good things are set up. So you have to be able to really, really find that peace and calm to discern, hey, is this a setup or is this really something good? Because if I take a chance in a setup, I'm screwed, but I really need something good to happen. So there are good things that are setups and good things that are real. So that's the hardest thing for me, was the hardest thing on the street, especially as a trauma survivor of attempts on my life and more, like somebody pull up. Hey, this dude and this girl pulled up. Hey, I was walking the 3 Mile Bridge from. I got poison oak on my face because I slept somewhere, and I was walking the 3 Mile Bridge coming back from washing my face with salt water. And these couple stopped. Hey, you want to come to my hotel and take a shower? We'll let you take a shower in our place, let you wash clothes and stuff like that. Now I think it was a setup, but you never know. It might not have been a setup. It might have been genuine people. But you know what I did in that situation? What I did was I said, I sat in the car. I said, "Do I got a minute to think about it?" They said, "Yeah, sit. You got a minute to think about it." So I sat in there thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what? I just need something to eat. I said, so I told him I was like, look, I'm not going to take you up on that offer. I don't trust many people, but will you get me something to eat? Well, what they did was they got me something to eat, and then they said, "You sure you don't want to come back to?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure. Drop me off." I can tell usually when I get that really godless, if you're sensitive to the spirit or your gut feeling, and even sometimes you fail and get it wrong. But I would rather be wrong and not trust somebody than uh I'd rather be wrong and not trust somebody than let my desires, my hunger, my need for a shower, material things is really what it is. And I found myself in certain situations where they were trying to get me off the street. Let's just say that, and I was faced with, oh, a shower would feel so good, but what comes along with that shower? Am I willing to deny my flesh wanting a shower? Just deep stuff I'm talking. Some might not understand, but some might. But yeah, so you would have survived. You never know what you would have survived. I didn't think I would survive. I still might not survive. That's the crazy thing. Uh, but that's up to God. At least I've helped people. At least we're trying to help people. And continue trying to help people. And I have helped people. And that's all that counts in the end. Is if you've walked in love and helped people, and you beat that and you defeated that bitterness that they try to bring out in you. Because if you went to the bitterness, you got defeated. So, hi, Kat. We're just now ending the live, unfortunately. I just had a caregiver I really connected with. I was sacrificing needs to care for her. The agency's replacing her. Trust is tough. Wow. Well, sorry about that. Um, I would just pray, because I mean, having a caregiver, it's hard to trust. And I know if you're a target, having a caregiver, that's probably hard to trust because you have a caregiver in your home, in your private stuff, and now you got to get a. I'll be praying that the Most High watch over you and bless you with somebody you can trust, because that I wouldn't even know what to do in that situation. Being due to my trauma and stuff, and having somebody like that in the house, new, definitely some uh, tough stuff ahead. So I'll be praying for that. We'll be praying for you. Um, JH said first time in chat, hey, I'm just fixing to go. I just come on here as a kind of a test run to see if anybody would come. I thank everybody who came out and appreciate y'all keeping the chat good. And Sam, I apologize about the cat situation, calling you a perp. I mean, but you're a TI, so I know you probably understand why I tripped out that way. Um, but anyway, God bless all TIs, and they're scrambling my thoughts right now where I can't even think. They're saying like 1,000 words in my head right now, so I'm gonna go before I can't even speak right. But